What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So we got brother Anton Daniels in the broadcast room. Shout out to him. And he has a young lady that he's going to do a reaction to and things like that. And she's worried out here. I mean, basically her son wants to vote Republican. And of course, these are the things that are going on in this election right here that are brewing and things like that of course was never expected by a lot of black people to see this, that a lot of young men or men period are deciding to make their own minds up and do their own research and basically make their own decisions. So we're gonna go here now and we're gonna check this out. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Male who is of voting age. I desperately need you to.
Hold on, my bad. Okay, let's go now.
If you are the mom, the aunt, the cousin, the grandma, the sister, the friend of a Black male who is of voting age, I desperately need you to watch this video. If you're not, you can keep scrolling. But if you are, I need you to watch this video and I need your advice. I'm a mother of a 24-year-old, handsome Black male who lives
Okay, so he's 24. Okay.
down the South. I live up north, but he grew up in a very, you can call it liberal household. My household has always, including my husband, he grew up with a man in the household, a male role model. Both of us are educated. We've always advocated and been activists for.
Okay, male role model. Is that his father, though? His blood father? Sometimes those things matter. Okay.
The rights of marginalized and oppressed people, to include people of Black, brown, Muslim, Asian, people with disabilities, LBGTQIA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've talked about rights as we have a nonprofit. We do lots of things in the community that supports the politics and the policies of Vice President Kamala Harris. I even remember the day that Barack Obama won the election in 2008, and my son was 8 years old. And the very next day, he got up and put on a suit and tie. He wanted to wear that to school because he saw himself in that moment that he could be the president of the United States. However, in the past several months, he has been giving me strong indications, although he has not said it out loud, that he wants to vote for a former president, Donald Trump, in this election. We are constantly talking him off of that ledge. We are constantly defending Vice President Kamala Harris and reinforcing what we experienced under the oppressive conditions, the police brutality, et cetera, that we experienced under the presidency of Donald Trump.
Now hold on here. Hold on here. I thought that the George Floyd situation happened under Obama's administration. Now hold on.
Case is there to think about.
Hold on. If my memory serves me correct out here. Now we're talking about the oppression of Donald Trump. Donald Trump was in there 4 years. Now I'm not advocating for either fourth, but what I'm saying, the thing of this is that I know what our ancestors was trying to do in this country, as a black man as well. And, I'm saying, speaking with this black woman and also brother Anton, listen, look, we have the freedom to vote for who we want to vote for. If we done the proper research and we feel like that candidate, speaks to us and things like that, then we have every right to change our minds and vote for who we want to vote for. But okay then, cool. So she's going out of her way to try to make sure that things go the way that I think that she wants them to go. Let's keep going.
We have to continue to reinforce Project 2025 and what that's going to mean for him as a Black man in the future. But for some reason, about once a week, we had to talk him off that ledge. I'm not sure what's going on.
Trump is not in favor of 2025. He's already said that plenty of times. Okay.
On with our young Black man. He grew up in a very privileged household. He has had all of his needs met, and maybe because he hasn't had to go a day without health care, he hasn't had to go a day without food and his basic necessities. If his human rights or his educational rights or whatever rights that he is entitled to has ever been breached, we have always been there to advocate for him. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that privileged life that he has experienced of a young Black man has somehow aligned with Donald Trump's privilege. And somehow he sees himself more in him than he does Vice President Kamala Harris. But more importantly, not more importantly, but what really keeps me up at night is that as a Black woman, I have always made it a priority to show him the strength of a Black woman. I started out as a single mother with him. I went to law school with him. His first day of kindergarten was my first day of law school. So he witnessed me struggle through law school. He witnessed me even after I graduated, started making salaries, the struggle and my rise and my fight through many things throughout my life. And to not see that same strength and determination in another Black woman, it has me down. It has me disappointed. It has me wondering, where did I go wrong? Where did my household go?
What do you mean, ma'am? You have a son. You should want your son to actually well, you said that your son grew up in a household with good male leaders and stuff like that. You should want your son to, follow those good male leaders. Now, I'm not trying to understand why, especially in the Black community, most of our Black women want us to feel like we should, want to like emulate Black women's success. And it's not to put Black women's success down. That's not what it is. It's the fact that, what I'm saying, we're men. We're not the same. I've never dealt with that type of issue in my family. That putting me down because I was born a man. Like I don't.
What the French toast is there to think about?
I don't understand that. Well, you should look up to me as your mom because I'm like, listen, look, you're my mom. I love you. You're my mother. But the thing of this is that I'm born a man, so I have a different path in life. I have a different understanding. I have a different thought process. I can't work the same as you work. And it's not that I don't like your accomplishments. It's not that I don't respect you as my mother. It's not that I don't respect your accomplishments and things like that. No, that's not what this is. Is that you need to also understand that at the same time, though, too, I'm different. And my thought process on this situation is that a lot of, men and young men for the longest now, we've been stigmatized because the mainstream is the fact that we're different and we think different as men. Like we just don't have those same thought processes. Let's keep going.
Wrong. Why am I having to have these conversations? These are just not conversations that I ever pictured having with any child of mine, with anyone, honestly, that shares my bloodline of people The whole family has advocated for civil rights. I come from Montgomery, Alabama. My whole family was involved in some sort of civil rights movement throughout history. So if you are, again, a Black mom, sister, cousin, aunt, whatever, friend, grandma, and you're having to have these same conversations, just let me know. Let me know I'm not alone. Let me know what you're doing, how you're having these conversations, how they're going for you. I need some support, y'all. I do. I need some support. But let's get this done. Let's get this done.
So let me first start off by saying that I always like to give credit to the content creators. So their profile and their information will be linked down in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off a Life Phenomenal product. And then make sure that you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Last but not least, come and kick it with me in person. All of my information is down in the description for you to get your tickets, discount code, and time. You know what it is. All right, so let's get into her video, right? I don't want to make this long.
A happy place comes in many.
Yeah. All right. Come on
now. Number one, we are not our grandparents. We have not subjected ourselves to just being programmed to align with the Democratic Party just because. And so a lot of times we are starting to wake up. Thank God her son, who they've basically raised to be subjected to and to be aligned with feminism and simping and the LGBTQ and the alphabet community and all of this other nonsense. Listen, at the end of the day, we are human and we are people. And what's best, a rising tide lifts all boats. So all they're preaching is more racism, more divisiveness. And if you've seen a white person have this exact same conversation and talk online about how they are trying to talk their kid off the ledge from aligning with somebody just based off of policy instead of based off of identity politics, you would call them racist. And very much so, we are raising another nation and trying to raise another generation of men to basically be son husbands, to be simps, and perhaps him seeing himself raised in an environment in which, yeah, he was probably coddled, or maybe you did what you were supposed to do. And it's not that he was privileged, is that he was, he got what he deserved, and that no kid deserves to be raised in a ghetto or to be suffering and all of this other stuff.
Right.
But the very same America that you're railing against is the thing that blessed you to be able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and then give him the life that he deserved. And maybe, just maybe, the idea of thinking for yourself and being your own man is the thing that we're supposed to do. Regardless of what your party politics is, you should be able to substantiate your own argument. And the fact that they're trying to talk him off a ledge, aka influence him as a 24-year-old man, means that he's waking up and realizing that he is not his parents, he is not his grandparents, he is not his great-grandparents. And the Montgomery, Alabama that you speak about, while we can look at history and say, yep, I got that, doesn't necessarily mean that that's a reflection of where we at in 2024.
And to be honest with you, it's not.
So what the French toast is there to think
It's
about?
not. Listen, look. Those days back in the days was a whole different generation of people, a whole different time, also a different struggle, a different type of struggle and things like that. Our struggle is different today as Black men. And we don't want to, a lot of people don't want to accept this, but yeah, we have been separated from our Black women strategically. We hear it all over the internet. We see it in, daily life, stuff like that. We are separated from our Black women and stuff like that. Well, back then, we were not like we are today. And these are the factors that, I can understand how a lot of Black women don't like the fact that their sons could possibly think for themselves and, figure out life for themselves. And they just, it's like, how dare you, you know, disrespect us because you think that this other person will be better and things like that. Like, I thought you raised your child to be a thinker and understand, you know, and see life for themselves. But obviously, a lot of us, a lot of people in our Black community want us to stay followers. They want us to stay, you know, plantation minded and things like that. You know, now I'm for listen, whoever you want to vote for, you vote for them. But just make sure that you actually understand who you voting for and what they stand for and what they want to do with this country, and making sure that, you know, we could all have a peaceful country and things like that. Like, you know, all this identity politics that we're wrapped up in with this election is killing the whole situation. The rest of the world is looking at us like buffoons. And we're still sitting around here, you know, dealing with these issues and things like that that are actually not what we need to be dealing with. You know, this woman's sitting around here trying to feel some type of way because her son, as a 24-year-old grown man, you know, he sees something different and things like that. So instead of trying to open up your mind and, well, maybe he sees something different. Let me see what he has to say. Black women have been so used to, you know, ruling over the men in our culture, and these are just facts. Till now, it's like it's hurtful, and it's also, to them, it's also disrespectful that, you know, Black men are waking up, and, you know, we are breaking the mold, and we're drawing the lines and things like that, that we have different, you know, agendas in mind, especially for us financially, in all other types of areas, you know, definitely financially. Like, you know, yeah, we have a different mindset with that than what the Democrats have been providing or not providing for so long. And, you know, we have to look at this. Yeah, at the last minute, you know, they come up with giving us weed and, you know, this and that. Like, you know, well, let's do, you know, you Black men, we know y'all like to smoke weed out here, you know. I'm pretty sure this young lady's son right here don't even smoke weed. But, you know, it's the disrespect. And I can't understand how Black women are not seeing this. How y'all not understanding this? It's the disrespect that we're talking about as Black men. And we're tired of it. And we're no longer under the illusion that we have to tolerate and deal with the disrespect. Oh, the civil rights movement, and she talking about her family has been engaged in the civil rights. Those were different days and times. The party that the party that you still trying to represent, they don't even represent them people back in the day no more. They don't represent them people no more. They don't.
Man, so I am so proud. I am very much proud of our Black men from learning how to get off of the Democratic plantation and no longer align yourself with the party politics of your parents and your grandparents just because, and to think for yourself and to realize that your opportunities. And she wanted to talk about oppression. What? Police brutality, oppression? You telling me you got beat up by the police, you got arrested in 2016, 17, 18, 19, something like that? This is amazing. Listen, keep.
I guarantee you, ain't nobody in her family got arrested or no oppression. You can clearly look at her. Like, what's she oppressed? What's she been oppressed by?
Going, Black man. Keep going. It's the real fight is within yourself to let go and release yourself of the obligations of the people that came before you for things that they were racist and wrong about, and to wake up and to jump off the ledge and stop letting them talk you off the ledge, because it's freedom in that fall, because you're going to fly. You're going to absolutely fly. You're going to win, and you're going to think for yourself, and you're going to win in every single thing that you ever do in life. And it's not going to be that it's easy. It's not going to be that it's great all the time, but the growth is what makes you a man. The failures forward is what makes you great. Keep going. No longer aligning with the Democratic Party just because that's the party of your parents and your mama. And it sounds like, and I'm always gonna try to be respectful. This woman seems like a great woman. She seems like she's well read and she can articulate herself just fine. It sounds like the other influence inside of her household, as she described on here, I'm not gonna go into it. Y'all know what it is. Y'all tap in with the Patreon. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Are more black?
So yeah, shout out to Anton though.
Black men.
No, yeah, man, it's wild out here. This is wild. You know, I thought we lived in a country to where we can think for ourselves as human beings, especially as adults and things like that. You know, now, you know, whatever this young man choose to do, you know, he choose to do it. You know, and instead of trying to think outside the box and figure out why is your son, you know, choosing to go this way and stuff like that, you steady want to try to keep him in a box. And this is what black men are being hurt by our own women, because they study want to try to keep us in this box. And with all this technology and information in today's society, we can't stay in the box no more. And I don't see how, well, you know, some black women are choosing to stay in the box. We do have some black women that are going outside the box. You know, we see it all over the internet. You know, this whole situation has divided a lot of the black culture, but you know, it just is what it is, man. This is sad. This is sad that she, as a mother, is not trying to understand her son and things like that. You know, but yeah, it is what it is, though, man. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers out there. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.